Bam. Welcome, everybody, to the next episode of The Heels of Time, coming at you live on this nice and bright Sunday afternoon. It is end of daylight saving time over here, so it's a little weird because I'm kind of used to having it being 5 o'clock right now. I don't know about you, Derek, but this morning I woke up a little early.
Yeah, for me too. Woke up just about an hour early, coincidentally.
Yeah, go figure, right? Whatever. So today's episode is gonna be it's gonna be kind of cool. So we're doing another reaction since we're now getting kind of pretty close to the episodes coming out on Amazon Prime.
Less than
They,
2 weeks.
yeah, bros. So they being Amazon launched some stuff on Twitter. There were 7 posters, if you want to call them posters, because obviously they're not actually, paper. But they're interesting. They're of this what we're guessing is going to be the 7 main characters. That's what we're guessing. We know Rand, Mat, Perrin, Egwene, Moraine, Lan, and Nynaeve. So that's what we're guessing. Those are going to be the 7 main characters. Do you agree, Derek?
It appears so for now.
For now,
Now,
yeah, good point.
keep in mind this is a series with many, many
Oh my
characters.
God, yes, this is ridiculous.
So, and it's one of those situations where you can expect the spotlight might shift from time to time.
Yeah, well, absolutely. That's
But
how
as
the
far
books went,
as
at least.
right, exactly. But as far as the first season goes, I imagine that these are going to be
The main.
the main and of the main is they become to be known on Twitter as the Amon's Five or the Amon's Field Five, and so we're going to actually point out a difference that they have for those 5 characters
Yep.
on these particular posters, making them a little bit even more special than either Lan or Maureen.
So what we're extrapolating here is a pretty interesting thing. So we have 7 characters, right? That we're gonna go over a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's what 7 days of the week, right, Derek?
Yes, there you go.
And my compatriot is much more eagle-eyed than I am. But as he was literally going through each friggin' picture, he noticed that 5 were relatively the same ish, and 2 were totally different.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 that are different are Lan and Moraine. They're actually seemingly at night. We're not going to post these, by the way. You can hop on Twitter and find them. Last time we did, or 2 times ago, when we did a reaction video, we got hit for some copywriting stuff. So we don't want to get tagged too many times. So if we're going to describe them as best we can to you, and if it's not good enough, pictures worth 1,000 words. So hop on Twitter, go to their page, and you'll see all the pictures. But those 2 seemingly just were moons, and the other 5 seemingly were daytime with a blazing sun. But they were a little bit different in picture. But the actual orb in the sky was in the
Mm-hmm.
identical same spot, correct?
That's right.
And we thought that was pretty interesting because it's like, interesting. You got 5 people that are now
Mhm.
like the mains. For
Yep.
those of you in the book, and a little bit of a spoiler, you can kind of say that as Robert Jordan was writing the books, there's really a whole bunch of main characters if you really want to say the main character, but it really followed the three boys, Matt, Rand,
Originally,
and
yes.
and Perrin.
Yep. Exactly. That's correct.
Flip side, because they're not giving away too much, but they all kind of go in like divergent paths. I can totally see why they made the 2 female characters also semi-lead. It kind of does make sense because they're pretty pivotal to the storyline. So I can
Mm-hmm.
understand that. Makes sense. If you guys have read the first 3 or 4 books, Moraine is a heck of an important character. So is Lan. I mean, you can kind of go further than that, but I would say definitely the first 4 books. They're like, you could almost say 7 main characters. I would say. Agree? Disagree?
No, I would definitely agree.
All right, because I know you're more of the expert on the Wheel of Time, mythology, and mythos and everything. So I don't want to say anything too outlandish. But what we're looking at, if you've watched the rest of the shows, we've been comparing a lot of the characters to whom we think Mr. Jordan grabbed some of his thoughts and intuitions and how he brought in different cultures into his storyline. And interestingly enough, the way that Amazon's tweaking his story a little bit, we thought it'd be cool to look at the days of the week.
Most
So
definitely.
everybody knows Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? Cool. So you think 7 characters, 7 days of the week, nice and neat, good to go. Yeah, not quite exactly perfectly identical, but we think it's pretty dang close. I think it's pretty sweet. So we're going to start with Sunday, right? And this is the day of extremely terrible pronunciation, because these are some crazy words that I'm going to try to say, and they're going to be wrong 100%. If there's a laugh emoji, go for it, because this is going to be pretty damn laughable. So yeah, the interesting fact though is a lot of these languages, no matter where they are across the world, legitimately world, they're very, very similar. Now, yes, obviously with Romance languages expanding and everything, and a lot of stuff coming from Latin and Greek, that kind of makes sense. But it's really interesting. It was really interesting to me when I was doing a little bit of research. So Sunday, the Christian faith kind of made it like Sunday as in like Sun Day, like Son of God Day. Really isn't. It's literally S-U-N. So it's the sun's day. In Middle English, it's Some. I think I'm pronouncing that correct. I don't know. Old English, it's Sumadag. Germanic, I'm not even going to try. I'm going with the hell, why not? Sumandagas.
All right.
All right. Latin, Dies Solis. And Greek is Herme Helio, Day of the Sun. All of them mean the same thing, though. Day of the Sun. Or
Yes.
Sun's Day. In Middle English, it's a little slight tweak, but close enough. So, literally, Day of the Sun, the celestial being, not actual S-O-N, although it kind of got brushed over with Christianity kind of absorbing that day into their own, so to speak. And I apologize if you guys hear some hammering. It's not me. It's actually a woodpecker. He's not scared of me anymore. So if you guys hear some pecking, it's that dang bird going crazy. Derek's seen some pictures of that son of a bitch doing some damage on my house, and I can't get rid of him. So, hey, if you guys know of a way to get rid of them, and we're not allowed to shoot them, they're endangered up here. So a nice way of getting rid of them, I'd be down, because this guy's really pissing me off. So anyway, if I get a little distracted, Derek, bring me back in, man.
Let me bring you back. Any other facts you need to throw in about Sunday before I talk about which one of these posters is going to be our
I don't think
Sunday
so.
poster?
Go for it, man. If I come up with something, or if I'm like son of a gun, then I'll interrupt you and go for it.
Okay, well, these comments are really for folks that have read the series at least once, by the way. But our pick for Sunday is going to be none other than the character you're going to see on the TV show, Rand al'Thor.
Yeah.
And in his poster, what's special about he has a son, and I'm going to throw this out specifically. Theo mentioned, and I'm just going to give maybe a fact or two to explain why Rand is Sunday, because I would like everyone to take a look at our Is Rand al'Thor Apollo video. That's a really good one that explains why he might be specifically the morning sun. His reddish hair might make him specifically be the winter sun. And since Theo mentioned in Christianity, kind of wanting to make Sunday their Lord's Day, the Lord's Day, I should say, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we'll think about it like this: if Rand al'Thor is some kind of solar version of a savior deity, then that would make it perfect for him to be on that day of the week, from that point of view. And again, for the people that have not read the series all the way through, hit the mute button now, and skip ahead a bit.
Yep.
But Rand al'Thor is prophesized to give his life to save the world, so against the shadow. So Rand al'Thor, the poster, we're saying that's Sunday. And again, the unique bit about this poster, even though the sun is in the same spot and we're saying that's his solar halo, so to speak, like his symbol of being a deity, kind of a hint. That's what we're going with.
Exactly.
As far as the hints they're dropping. Well, his sun is surrounded by a bit of a cloud that kind of looks like maybe a shadow that's threatening it, maybe trying to swallow it whole. So I think that's very interesting and maybe a clue for a surprise that we're going to have in a little bit. So why don't you go on and tackle the next day of the week, Theo?
We got Monday rolling on, right?
Mm.
Dum dum dum.
All
Monday.
right.
It's literally Moon Day.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right? Sun, moon.
Absolutely.
One following the other, or however you want to call it. So it's pretty interesting. It literally just moon, Luna. That's where it comes from, technically speaking. I'm gonna destroy these dang days again. Dies Lunae, that would be Latin, easiest to pronounce for me at least. Middle English, go figured. It's probably not actually saying it right, but it is just Monday. It's probably Monday or some different pronunciation, but technically it does mean Moon's Day.
Depending on before or after that great vowel shift, right?
Yeah, bingo. So we'll go with that. We're cool. Old English, Mun. Dag. Dag. Day of the Moon. Cool. Already the Latin, Ancient Greek. Again, Selenes makes sense because Selene is the goddess of the moon.
Yep.
So that would make sense for the Mondays. Yeah, other than that, there's not a heck of a lot. I mean, Norse mythology, again, it's still the moon. And there's a distinction between, obviously, moon and sun. There's a big difference in terms of like day versus night. But other than that, they're all basically the same. There's not necessarily a particular mythological thing. It's in theory it's Manny, but that's about it. So Sunday and Monday are kind of weekdays. Week as in week in terms of oomph with the mythology, but basically the day of the sun followed by the day of the moon, which makes sense. Now the poster is where it starts to get some creepy and crazy interesting facts. So lay it down, Doubles.
So check this out. I might have some surprise material for you.
Ooh, go for it, man.
So I was thinking about this and a video that we've already done where you've talked about this from some mythology point of view mixed with some Wheel of Time stuff. And Maureen has a special talent that she can use the spirit weave of the one power to make animals do her bidding.
Ooh, true.
She tends to be dominant at night. So
yes.
That's for the twist. So I'm going to come back to that. Now, at first glance, I'm going to say Maureen is the moon on the posters. Maureen is Monday. Okay. But here's the twist. At first glance, I would say there's a lot of evidence that Robert Jordan has Maureen as actually being somewhat of a lunar character. Specifically, I'm just going to give one piece since we're just kind of moving along here. Lanfear is definitely meant to be the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, without a doubt. And who disposes of Lanfear? None other than Moraine.
Yep.
So they're kind of equal in some regard. So maybe they both have some kind of moonness that puts them on the same plane, so to speak. So the thing is, though, I'm not going to say she's Selene. I'm going to say, what if she's Artemis?
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to her ability with the animals,
Mm-hmm.
her strengths at night.
Night.
Yeah, absolutely. And her other half is her hunter half.
Mm-hmm.
And that is literally her other half, which is none other than Land Almandragoran. So I would say Moraine is probably Artemis specifically, but Monday nonetheless. So how do you like that? I tiptoed into your mythology side, but
Hell
what do
yeah,
you think of
man.
that?
Do your thing, bro.
All right.
I'm down with it.
All right then. So
So
we got
finally got rid of that damn woodpecker for maybe 15 minutes. That son of a
I'm
bitch.
glad. I'm glad he's gone, man.
God.
So we got Rand is Sunday. We got Maureen and Land making up Monday. Oh,
Yep.
and it might even be a hint in the poster. Land has a really bright moon behind him.
Yep.
And
He
Maureen
does.
has kind of a dim, obscured moon behind her. So maybe there's some kind of hint in there.
So on to Tuesday, right? Now I get to crack my fingers a
Oh,
little.
yeah, go for
Because
it.
Tuesday is pretty legit. It's
Oh,
wartime,
yeah.
yo. So Tearsdogger, aka Tuesday, Mars, Aries, doesn't matter. Everybody in all cultures is kind of wacky. Like when I mean all cultures, it's like Saxon, German, even Hindu. All think of Tuesday as like war day.
Mm.
Doesn't matter culture, doesn't matter language. Seemingly, Tuesday is like legit Tyr. Tyr's the god of war. Whatever god of war it is, that's your day of Tuesday. Which, not exactly sure why it became like a day of battle or whatever. I mean, yeah, he's obviously Tyr is a combat veteran. We went over him in a previous episode. So if you wanna if you like us, look at our old stuff, because this is a lot of, I wouldn't say repetition, but we're going over the days of the week, but we've gone over the gods before, so not really going to get into it too much. But even in Latin, it's the day of Mars. So they all, when I mean they, seemingly all the older cultures, that was the day of war. Don't know why. Maybe there's specific battles that always took place on a Tuesday. Weird. I don't know. But anyway, legitimately, across the board, Tuesday equals Tears Day. You can pronounce it a whole bunch of different ways. Doesn't matter. They're all the same. All is after the god of war in all cultures. That, at least that I looked up a little bit. So that one's an easy one, but important. So go for it, Derek. Who we got?
Well, thank you for setting that up. So here's the other twist that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So Tuesday, Tears Day. Well, as Theo said, we covered this in a previous video, so please check that out. Please give it a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Rand al'Thor is Tears Day. He's Tyr, he's Tuesday. And one of the reasons we're going to tie Rand to Tuesday is a prophecy says that Rand is not just going to save the world. That is what makes him Sunday. But he's also going to destroy the world. So that definitely makes him Aries or Mars or Tyr. That makes him the god of war. So that's our Rand al'Thor. He represents a big chunk of these people by being the only one that is so far at least going to represent two of the original pantheon.
So you may think, oh my God, how they going like Rand and all these different guys, and because in theory you could say Perrin is kind of warlike too, in a way.
Oh, for sure.
So you could almost say, well, it could be Perrin too. Remember, especially the three main boys
In the original series.
in the original series. Robert Jordan made it one character, split, and then he's like, yeah, this is too big, too super powerful. Split them into three, hence why we got the three. But he didn't break them evenly where it's like 100% your X, Y, Z. No, he kind of blended them together, put them in a blender, and spit out the characters that we know of Mat, Rand, and Perrin. So our theory is that they're all mixed in a little bit. Hence why we're also mixing these up a little bit too. So if you're confused, it's all thick as mud and all clear as mud, so it makes sense to us. Sort of. Wednesday gets a little interesting. Old English is probably where we get it from. I'm not even gonna try. It's basically some crazy pronunciation. I'm not even gonna try. Just starts with a W, and it's basically day is all the same throughout the entire process. I'm gonna mispronounce it because it's screw it. I'm not even gonna make people laugh at me too much. So it was actually the Germanic, that's where a lot of Old English came from, Wooden, aka Odin.
Yeah.
So Odin's the man. He a pimp. Latin, the counterpart for that would be Mercury.
Right.
Kind of interesting with that. Pretty cool. And Wednesday is Hermes Day in Greek, so they all follow the same pattern, at least of where we're at. So literally, leader of the wild hunt. That's Woden. That's the Anglo-Saxon Teutonic god of the Germanics. He a little crazy, violently insane, you could say. Odin is not, I wouldn't say violently insane. He may be kind of violent. I don't think he's insane. He's not insane.
Probably
Mercury.
Depends on the version, I bet.
Yeah, there very well could be. Different versions mean different things. We did not examine. Well, actually, technically, hint, we haven't actually gone through Odin yet. Wink, wink.
No.
Wink, wink.
So this is going to be a teaser for an upcoming episode, I think.
Absolutely. Well, 100%. Absolutely. Mercury, god of commerce, travel, thievery, eloquence, science, all the things. He's the messenger god. In terms of the planets, it's the quickest planet. Because it's obviously the closest to the sun, fastest orbit around it. Hermes, go figure. Romans followed the Greeks. Basically the exact same god as Mercury. Also the messenger and herald. Traveler, rogue, go figure. And he's ironically conductor to the dead to Hades. So that's
interesting.
That's kind of cool. So if you actually play the game, like Hades the game, one of the first gods that you kind of get that little bump from when you reach that second level, usually Hades, at least for me. I would say 90% that's him. So go figure. Makes sense. A lot of people use these things. So that's Wednesday in a nutshell.
Wait, did you mean Mercury?
Odin?
Hermes?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hermes. Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Herms.
Yeah.
So I think everybody knows who Wednesday is going to be.
Well, let me throw a little fact about. So I just want to point out why the host is deciding to say, well, they're all like this. What does he mean? What is the focal point here? Well, these are all the name that they gave the planets in whatever region they were in. And for whatever reason, it's in the same order. The list is always in the same order. So that's also interesting. But so we're really what's interesting is we're really kind of comparing these characters to these specific planets, if you think about it. So the posters are conveying a solar halo, and we're matching them up the best we can, because we've done this with the actual text material. We're trying to see if they're doing this also with the TV series, and if this hint is any depiction of what's to come, there's going to be some good material to come. So a little science lesson, real quick, I promise. I'm no
Okay.
Bill Nye, but I'll do my best to
You are a
entertain.
science guy, though. Well,
But I'm
actually,
a
you're a
science
math guy,
guy.
but you're okay.
So here goes. So why is Mercury the fastest planet? Well, it's the closest planet in our solar system to the sun. Does that sound right, Theo?
It better be.
So yeah. So what does that mean? It orbits the sun very quickly. But also think about this. If you're looking at the sun, chances are you're going to see Mercury in a similar place.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see Mercury. It's going to be in the morning before the sun rises,
Right.
because the sun is going to be obscured a little bit. Mercury is going to be kind of close to the sun relative to us, because
Right.
it orbits the sun closer than we do.
Mm-hmm.
So why is that a big deal? Well, compare that to Mars, where Mars orbits further away than we do.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're looking at Mars, it's usually away from the sun. It can be on the other side of the sun, very, very far away. Then it's not going to look as bright, I think. But at any rate, that's why you associate Mars or Mercury with being the morning star, and Venus is sometimes considered the morning star or the dawn star, for similar reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So throwing that science out there. So what does any of this have to do with Matt? Well,
Oh, by the way, Wednesday is Matt.
Oh, right. I did that backwards.
Yeah, you did. It's all right, though.
So Odin is depicted as, in the Norse mythology, Odin gets the honor of being associated with the planet Mercury. So he's also associated with Hermes and Mercury and all these folks. But what does that mean? It means he has an association with that given planet. And in English, it's Mercury, right?
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean that he's the messenger? Well, kind of. Actually, you could say that, because Matt Cawthon is the guy that blows the horn of the lyre, that sends the message to the other heroes of the Wheel of Time to come and fight, and they fight for the dragon. So it's like, specifically, he is the messenger. So you got that angle, and he does travel all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
But we're going to argue in an upcoming video that he has his connection to Mercury more closely and more directly through Odin. And this is not new, but we're going to approach this as aggressively as we can, and we hope to maybe find some facts that have not yet been exposed. We're going to do the best we can. But one of the most obvious facts is that Odin ends up being a one-eyed guy that was hanged by the noose. Matt is a one-eyed guy that was hanged by the noose. So we'll just leave that for the teaser. And we can go on to the next planet.
All right. Thursday. Mm-hmm. This one's like almost transliteral Thursday.
Yeah.
There's legitimately, I mean, in Old English it means Thunder Day. Latin, Jovis Day. Jovis, I guess you could say. And there's no V, so Jovis. Mm-hmm. Day of Jupiter.
Yep.
And Dios, Day of Zeus in ancient Greek. So all of them the same as we've described in the past. Zeus and Jupiter, they're almost identical. Thor, a little bit different. He's not like the king of the gods, but he is still one of the most powerful Norse gods, and they all have to do with thunder and lightning and all that kind of stuff. So, hence, again, all in order, all the same gods, same meaning of the days, so to speak. And if, again, we've already gone over Zeus quite a bit, and he's kind of a jerk. Little hint on that one. But So again, we went through one dude that kind of epitomizes Mr. Thor. So Derek, who might that potentially be?
Well, thank you for the setup, Theo. I believe that would be Perrin. And
Mm-hmm.
I hope everyone checks out our Perun video. But I'm not even going to talk about those facts. I'm going to give some direct connections. So, number one, Perrin is allowed to enter what he knows as the Wolf Dream, and that takes him to the world of dreams, Telun Ride, or however you want to try to say that. And that is kind of like alluded to being kind of the place of the gods. It's kind of like the Mount Olympus. It's where
Mm-hmm.
conversations of destiny are taken. It's where deals are made. It's where the story advances. It's a very dangerous place. It's also associated with the underworld and the night. Well, Perrin has access to this place. So that's kind of like saying he has access to Mount Olympus. Um, but the other thing is, and this is going to be kind of funny, because I don't know if we remember to point this out, but Perrin is huge, and he
Yep.
also has a huge beard. And
Mm-hmm.
that beard, although sometimes Thor can be depicted with a beard, he's quite often clean shaven. But Zeus always has that thundering beard. And
Yep.
what else is interesting is um, you'll really like this because this is new. Uh, we talk about Zeus being a jerk. We talk about Zeus having love affairs with animals, right?
Yep.
Well, in the Wheel of Time, I'm going to remind you, Perrin's wife and before marriage lover, her nickname is Fael, which is the Falcon. So we got Jupiter all the way around, Mr. Zeus himself. So walking like a mountain, uh, you know, that's Mr. Thunder himself. So there, that would be Perrin for the poster. So yeah, on to our favorite day of the week in the business world.
Payday. Oh no, wait, my bad. Friday. So this one gets a little freaky. So I'm gonna try to say it. Friggadagger. Friday. Yes. Yeah, yeah. I suck. Sorry. Make fun of me. It's fine. So
Be
this is,
confident, bro. You got it.
yeah, I got it. So anyway, this one gets a little weird because there's two goddesses in the Norse tradition, Frigg and Freya.
Mm,
So there's a thought process that they potentially could have been the same. There's a thought process that they could actually be different. Don't know, but they do different things with folks. So don't know exactly, but Frigg is actually Odin's wife, goddess
okay.
of mistress, or not a mistress, but of marriage rather. Um,
Oh, okay.
whereas Freya is kind of like the opposite. Still love goddess, but more mental and likes to have frivolous relations. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But they're kind of the same because it's associated with Venus or Aphrodite in the Greek and Roman pantheon, who is the goddess of love in both traditions. So almost as like the Norse either split them apart and made it like marriage versus like non-marriage, or they could have been the same. If she was actually the same, all of this follows true. They just have different, obviously, names.
Mm.
I think they're probably the same. Is my guess. Is where it started from. That's my theory. I'm gonna stick to it. Because if you go through all the cultures and all of the depictions of the different gods and goddesses, they're so dang similar. That would be my guess. But again, Norse mythology is not my extreme knowledge set, but I'm taking a guess on that. So either way, goddess of love, Aphrodite, love and beauty. Love and beauty is same as Venus. So if it's Frigg, she is the clouds, the sky, conjugal. That means married love. Again, wife of Odin. Cool. She's part of the Aesir. Freya is love, beauty, and like I said, non-married love. Let's put it that way. Not like a
more like the traditional Venus Ishtar kind of character.
Yeah, prolific.
Yeah,
in her loving. Let's put it that way. She also she's the leader of the Valkyries.
Okay,
and she's one of the
nice.
Yeah, she's cool. One of the she is one of the Vanir. But like I said, I think just the way they make them sound, I think they probably started off as the same and then may have branched off later on. Or it could have been the other way around. They were different and then they branched together because they're very frequently mixed anyway or confused and flipped around. So
got it. Okay.
That's my story and I'm sticking to it. But either way, Friday is Freya's day.
Yeah.
Or Frigg day, depending on how you actually want to roll with it.
Sure.
But either way, it's basically love day. If you want to like go for it that way. But it literally means Freya's day or Frigg's day, Venus day, day of Aphrodite, whatever. Those are identical, but the summation of that day is love day.
Well, check this out. I'm going to go with Frigg's day or Frigga's day. And I'm going to pin that on Nynaeve of all characters. And so if Nynaeve in the show matches what she does in the book, and these are going to be spoilers, she might as well be the goddess of, let's just say, married conjugal visits, or however you want to put it, because she's a chaste woman, let's say, until she gets with Lan officially. They wed.
Spoiler.
Okay, big spoiler.
Huge.
And once that happens, they take on some Manithrin customs, which is, all right, one of us gets to have like 100% control in public, and the other gets to have 100% control in the private. And as the story goes, Nynaeve didn't suspect that Lan meant also the bedroom counted as the private. So she started having to get used to some interesting stuff that she didn't know about. So she got learned today. So that's Nynaeve. So she's one of my absolute favorite characters, hands down. But why specifically? That's not really the reason. I'm pinning her to Friday specifically for a few reasons. Number one, from a wisdom from Eamon's Field, even before she was trained in the power, she was able to predict the weather. And what is one of Frigg's powers?
Sky.
Well, it's kind of having to do with clouds and the weather. The other knot I would tie to Nynaeve and Freya or Frigg would be the fact that Frigg, I believe, has the weave, this magical loom, right? And she's able to weave fate. And Nynaeve is one of the most powerful Aes Sedai of all time, pretty much. And when she sees a weave, she only has to see it once, and she's good to go.
Photographic memory.
Exactly. So I think she would be a pretty solid pin there. And also, no joke, she is described as being quite a beautiful and buxom woman. So
it fit
the only reason why she doesn't have many lovers is because she chases like every man off, like literally with a stick. So Um, yeah, she's quite an interesting character. I'm really interested to see what the show does with her. But if our theory holds, definitely Nynaeve is going to be the planet Venus. So back to you, Theo, for
S-
last but not least.
Saturday, man. This one was crazy, man. So I always knew Saturday was Saturn's day,
Mm-hmm.
aka the Latin for you know Saturn. Old English also Saturn's day. Middle English is literally Saturday. Almost
Okay.
spelled again. It could almost be like Saturday. Again, a pronunciation thing, so you could have a little um, Satyr. Interestingly enough, ancient Greek day of Kronos.
Yeah.
Kronos, Saturn, same person. Saturn, older god. Here, same thing as Kronos. Kronos is like a Titan, so like
Mm.
predated the Olympian pantheon that we know, the 12 that we know of now. He is the father of Zeus. He ruled the universe. He is literally the main Titan. Technically, we assume because Chronos means time. Technically, no. Um, he does not have anything to do with time. Just saying.
Mm.
Saturn, on the other hand, same thing. Big guy. Uh, Agriculture. He ruled. They say he ruled the earth in the age of happiness and virtue. Cool. Makes sense. Hilarious. The next part is uh up in the north, we got Thor, we got Freya, Frigg, whatever, whichever you prefer. Odin. All these guys have some crazy things named after him, like got the day of the week named after him and everything, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come to Saturday and you're thinking, oh man, who's the killer god that it's going to be after? Yeah. So again, I'm going to mispronounce it, but Longer Dogger,
Nice. Nice.
Laugar Dogger. Mm. If you guys got a good pronunciation thing, let me know. So you're like, who the hell is Lager? Lager. Who's this guy? Um, yeah, it means hot water. So it's literally the day of, not my cat, but it's literally the day of the bath, or bathing day, or day of hot water. Technically, um, that's kind of funny. We're like,
That's
wait, bath day? Okay. So this is the one day that didn't really follow any kind of pattern. Um, so the Norse tradition doesn't seemingly name it after anybody in particular. Um, Looking at the word, it really man, it looks like laundry. I'll be honest. So it does make, I mean, kind of makes sense. But in terms of what Saturday is, yeah. So that one was a funny one. That was an interesting little thing that we found out. But it is Saturn's day, at least in English, is how we approach it. So big dude, king of the Titans, king of the universe, really. And this one's an interesting one. We couldn't really pin it like pin
well,
the
not so
tail on the
fast, Theo.
donkey, like
Not so
perfect
fast.
perfect.
Not so
I
fast.
know, I know. I'm
Not so fast.
This is the one that I was like, I don't know. So Derek, you take it away, man.
There might be some extra fresh press right now.
True. I mean, I know who you're gonna
So
say. I know what you're gonna say. I'm still scratching my head. I don't know.
no,
I don't
no,
know.
this is something else.
Ooh, something else.
So,
All right, all right. Lay it on me,
well,
man.
I'll give you what you're expecting first. I'll be a gentleman.
All right.
So, number one, at first glance, you look at this poster with Egwene, and she definitely has a solar halo above her as well.
Right.
And she's walking apparently across the bridge over some water, and then she has these flowers kind of blooming, and she's kind of looking defiantly off, which if you read the book, Egwene is probably stubborn to the T, And if she was a constellation, she'd be the mule. I don't know if there is a mule constellation, but like that would be her. And she's comically stubborn. So what I'm looking at this, and I'm going to give two quick and dirty facts that are spoilers. Number one, Egwene at some point becomes the Amyrlin seed of the Aes Sedai, which makes her the mother of the Aes Sedai. So she's the mother. Number two, the powers are divided up into 5: earth, fire, air, water, and spirit. Menfolk are generally stronger with earth and fire, and womenfolk generally are stronger with air and water. Egwene has a particular talent where she is extraordinarily strong with earth. So if you put those together, Egwene is Mother Earth. So I think that's a very possible angle. However, recalling a previously shown adaptation on the show, I want to throw you right now live a new angle that I just thought of.
Oh, snap.
So this could be a disaster.
Or it could be hilarious.
So it could actually be that Egwene is now Saturn. And she could represent the 5th planet in that way. And this might be far out there, but let me explain. So Saturn generally is depicted as what? The god of water
agriculture.
Actually, no. Yeah. Of what now?
Agriculture.
Yeah, I was thinking Neptune for a second. So here's the thing. They show in the preview, they show Egwene getting like thrown into this river. And rivers are typically like the sources of agriculture. Like if you go back to ancient Babylon, it's because the city of lived next to a river, or between 2 rivers actually. If you go back to the ancient Egyptian cultures, they're by the Nile, and they need it to flood and whatnot for agriculture. So it could be that the show is going with an aspect where perhaps Egwene is particularly strong with water. And then it occurred to me, Theo, that what if they're going into some quite different direction, and they're doing some kind of, with lack of a better word, they're doing some kind of version of Captain Planet or Voltron, and perhaps they made it 5 because maybe it's now going to be Earth, Fire, Wind, and Water. And if that's the case,
and Heart, Captain
and Heart,
Planet.
Well, that would be
get those rings together. Not just really dating myself, but
yeah, exactly. Okay. But instead of Heart, we have Spirit, right?
Same difference.
So it could be that they are going with that angle, but whatever the case, I'm offering you that she could be connected to agriculture in that way, and she is a farmer. She grew up, well, technically she grew up the daughter of the mayor of the village, but she understands farm work. And so that those are my options for you. Just a few quick possibilities that either she could be either Saturn or possibly Mother Earth. But looking back at these posters, again, they very purposefully, we see 2 characters with like a lunar nimbus or a lunar halo.
Yep.
We see 5 characters with the solar halo. We have a series now where they're making the 5 characters most prominent. If they really do know their mythology, the thing that makes the most sense in that situation would be to align the 5 most prominent characters with the 5 known planets in mythology. And real quick history lesson. What do you mean, Derek? Well, in mythology, when they're writing that stuff down, they didn't exactly have telescopes to look at the sky.
No.
So everything had to be seen with the naked eye. And the only planets you could see back then with the naked eye were Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. That's it. Couldn't see Neptune, didn't know about it. Couldn't see Uranus, didn't know about it. Fun fact, that's why those 2 planets are named for things that are on, one is on Earth, Neptune, He's the god of the sea,
Mm-hmm.
and the other Uranus is the god of like the sky. So if you're looking at the sky, why does it need to be a planet? And if you're looking at the ocean, why does it need to be a planet? So those came later. So just some fun facts for you. But yeah, so what do you think? Do you think maybe the show? Do you think they're woke? Do you think they might see that there's some layers to the onion known as the Wheel of Time?
I hope so. If not, it would kind of suck because that's kind of how it was written in the first place. So
Well, that's what we're here to convince everybody of anyway.
true, true, true. And flipping on the thing about Saturn with
Mm,
Egwin, it'd be interesting to see. You brought up a good point. And if you're thinking about it, if you're thinking that she's Mother Earth, that Mother Earth
okay.
angle, I kind of dug that because if Saturn technically ruled in a time frame where it was like everything was plentiful, everything was
Mm,
peaceful, everything was cool.
okay.
Not saying that was Egwin. It's not really in this time is not really going down that way. But
No, good point. Good point.
but he was also about agriculture. But where is
Hmm.
agriculture? In the earth. If she's crazy
Hmm.
powerful with earth, which she is,
Right.
agriculture comes from the earth. It gives you plentiful stuff.
Right. No, I see what you mean.
And when she becomes the Amerlin seat, she wants peace, her own
For
version
real.
of it,
That's true.
but still
Hmm.
wants it.
She
So
does. Yep.
you could kind of bend that to work.
I see what you're saying.
I think it's pretty. I don't think it's that far off.
So ultimately, we have to see like
We have to see. We have to
how strong
watch.
they change her character in the show.
Watch.
Exactly, because that the whole thing, the whole sequence with the river, I'm really interested to see what that's about.
Right?
I mean,
I
they could fool
agree.
us all, and they could fool us all and be like, "Nope, that was a dream sequence," because you know that she has dreams, and
Yep.
maybe they make her a dreamer earlier because in the series she doesn't start having dreams at least until book four,
I
I
was gonna
want to
say four
say.
or five or something. Yeah.
It might be in book three,
Maybe the
but
first one, and she's like, "What the hell is this?"
yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's book four. So, um,
So yeah, basically what we're saying is you gotta watch that show.
yep,
It's like what was it 2 weeks? Not even.
12 days.
Yeah, I was gonna say not even, right? It's the 19th. So yeah,
You
so
call that two
19
weeks,
days we'll
but yeah.
see it.
Mhm.
Uh, of course they're just like blurbing little things out here and there. We're gonna keep going on with our series, depending on if they come out, as in Amazon, if they come
Mhm.
out with anything crazy new or uh, basically new, we might have another reaction thing as it gets closer. Otherwise, we'll probably go back
Definitely.
to our normal scheduled programming of picking apart some characters and figuring out who they might represent and go from there. So to sum it up, we had fun. I had fun. Learned out a lot of stuff about the days of the week that I didn't know, like Bath Day. Cool.
That one is hilarious.
Yeah, we giggled on that one. That was pretty funny. Um, but yeah, go check out those posters. They're on Twitter, not on our page. Didn't want to get nailed for anything. It's not. We obviously didn't post them here because we definitely didn't want to get nailed here either. Again, but check them out. See what you think. Hopefully, we described them well enough so you guys can understand where we're coming from. Might be easier with the picture. Like I said, we can't really post it. Sorry. So, till next time, we're the Heels of Time. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And it's sunny here, so I'm happy about that.
Or is it Rand's Day?
Ooh, Randy. I like it. All right, guys. You guys, everybody have a great rest of the week. And we'll see you next time. Like and subscribe if you dig us. Or even if you don't and you just like to make fun of us, that's cool too. I don't care. I can take it. make some comments, make some questions for us, make some comments. We were always open to it. So until next time, I'm signing off. Hand it to you, Derek.